love it.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Okay, so moving on to the last few. So I want to talk a little bit about goals. So I know recently you just did the 30-day fitness goal workout program, and you've been talking a lot just recently publicly about preparing for your goals or ideas about goals or just that whole thing. So what are your tell me about your current goals and tell me how important you feel like preparing for your goals are and why.
Well, in terms of the fitness part of it, I know what you mean.
Yeah,
they know what you mean.
Yeah.
In terms of the fitness part of it, when I was 34, I started saying, and I've been wanting to do action for a long time, like years, and I've done here and there, and I've gotten some good stuff in. But by 34, I was like, I really want to be like an action star. Like, I really want to live and exist in that space.
Yeah.
Where people call me for that kind of job because they're like, she can do it. You know. And so I was sitting on the couch, very much like this, with my blanket and my wine, and I was talking to Devon about it, and he was like, "So, what are you doing to meet God halfway?" And I was like, "That's so interesting." And immediately, faith without works came into my head, and I was like, "So I have all the faith in the world. I'm praying about it. I'm literally expecting it to happen, but I have no works. I'm not doing anything to bring it to me." So then I decided, by 35, I was going to be in the best shape of my life. So I started my workout regimen. Literally like 5 to 6 times a week for like the next, I think it was maybe 7 or 8 months at that time before my birthday.
Wow.
And I pretty much got there. I mean, I felt like I can get a little tighter, but I felt pretty darn good. And then, these last few years, it's really about like, how do I take it to the next level? So it was like learning Taekwondo and learning Capoeira, and I want to learn Muay Thai. And
girl, so you've been learning those now?
Yeah.
So you can, wait, so.
I can do some. Like I started Taekwondo and I was totally into it. But then I started talking to a stunt woman who was like, you should really do capoeira.
Yes.
Because that'll make you. And I was like, oh, okay. So I stopped Taekwondo, started capoeira, was totally into that. But then I left to go film, which is crazy. I'll tell you that in 2 seconds. And then I was talking to Tony Han, who's like an incredible martial artist. And he does Muay Thai. And he was like, you should really try that. So that's...
Muay Thai is no joke.
Yeah.
And so you're doing that now?
No, I'm getting ready to do that.
Oh my gosh.
I've been trying to find the right instructor and situation. Because for me... I get bored quickly and so I jump on to the next thing. But long story short, so got in that shape, still praying, and then within the year, Shazam came.
Which, by the way, I have to say, we had no idea you were in Shazam.
Yeah.
And so Trey and I are there in the theater, and we're sitting down there watching, and all of a sudden, Meagan pops up on the screen. I'm like, Meagan! But here's the thing, I knew that these were, remember, because we talked about this a little bit about your fitness goals and wanting to become a superhero. So the whole time, our action stars, so the whole time I'm literally like talking to her. I was like, oh my gosh, she was talking about this. She said, and he was like, watch the movie. And I'm so excited for you. Did I text you that night? I think I did. I think I was like, oh my gosh, you're So anyway, so tell me about that.
Oh, well, when I got to set, they were like, all right, so your character is going to be doing capoeira. I was like, oh, really? Well, I've been learning capoeira just before I got here. I finished my last class.
Funny.
It's crazy. Like God just connected all the dots. And so, for me, it's really about whatever I'm believing for, making sure that my works match my faith. And I have a lot of faith, so I got to work hard, And that was a part of like why I started the 30-day challenge, because I was like, okay, in this season, I want to take it to the next level. I want to get even in more shape, and I want to prepare my body for babies, and I want to be able to live a lifestyle of health. Obviously spiritually, mentally, emotionally, but physically as well. I want to be in this kind of shape when I'm 50 and 60, and I think that it starts now, and being serious about what is your lifestyle, how do you eat? How often do you work out? Is that a part of something you do sometimes, or is it a part of your life forever, for the long haul until you're out of here? You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that was the biggest thing with that. And then goals for me, it's just, I feel privileged to be excited about different things, and privileged to be able to put in the work, and privileged that God actually answers my prayers, and when I do the work, He shows up, and there's no reason for me to think anything else but that He's going to do that.
Wow.
And so, yes.
So preparation. No, this is very inspiring, because it's just the idea, because a lot of us, I know, at different times will think to ourselves, if I just dream it enough, if I just think about it enough, or visualize it enough, or just believe in it enough, but we're not doing the work that it takes in order to meet God halfway. And so I love the way you say that. So it's just inspiring enough to be like, all right, if I'm dreaming for this, how am I putting my faith into works?
Yeah.
How am I supporting that
and
by
I
my
think
actions?
that's with anything, anything and everything in life. I think you have to do everything in your power to make it go the way that you're believing that God is telling you it will go. And do everything in your power to try to bring it to you. And the rest is up to him. And if it's supposed to happen, it will,
That's it.
And it's crazy because I remember being maybe 12, seeing Janet Jackson say this in an interview. I think she was on tour for like the Rhythm Nation tour. And she said something to the likes of that, where she was like, when I pray about something, I don't just wait for it to happen, I go do my part. And when you think about the Bible, every time, a king says to God, like, am I going to win this battle? And God's like, yeah, now go out and fight.
That's it. Yeah. You're just going to win it just standing there.
Yeah.
I love that. That's good. Okay, so one of the last questions for you is, your Hollywood career spans many years. Yeah. Although you look like you're 15, girl.
I received that. 15 plus 10, that's good too.
So people have been following you for a very, very long time, and you've been blessed to have such a very fruitful career that's continuing to just grow and be massive. What are some of the lessons that you feel like Hollywood has taught you over this span of time? Because not everybody has been in Hollywood this long, and it's a very trying industry.
Oh gosh, for sure.
So, but you're still here. Many people will leave or be discouraged or be disheartened. So what are some of the lessons?
Number one is really trusting God. Like really, really, really trusting him. And I don't believe in ever giving up. I'm like relentless and resilient. And I've seen a lot of like really kind of sucky times, and times where I couldn't pay my bills, or I'd have a big movie in the theater and couldn't afford to pay my bills, Wow. Oh yeah. I mean, I've seen a lot of different seasons. But for me, it's really trusting God. This entire job is a faith walk. When am I going to get my next job? Am I going to get my next job? Every single day we have to walk in faith that we're going to get a job, and that we're going to go the way that we want to go. And then I would say, as it pertains, like a big one for me is like no competition. I just don't believe in it. I believe like truly what's mine is mine. You can't take it from me. What's yours is yours. I can't take it from you.
I love that.
And I really believe in celebrating each other, celebrating all women, celebrating any form of underdog. Absolutely.
Come on.
I believe just it's taught me a lot too about my own authenticity and how much that's a superpower when I lean in exactly to who I am. How I see the world, how I express myself, what I've experienced that's made me think this way or that way. And even as I'm still growing, my authenticity is mine. And the way I think and the way I see and the way I project, there's nobody in the world like me. There's nobody in the world like you. Nobody can ever be you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So just owning that. Like as a kid, I remember like being in audition rooms, and you could hear other actresses through the door sometimes, and I'd be listening, and they're doing it totally different. And I'd be like, oh, I wonder if I should do it like that, or if I should do it the way. And once I got the authenticity part, I was like, no, I'm just gonna do it whatever way I think I should do it. And
it feels organic to me.
Absolutely. And even if I go in there and I even sound like somebody else, for whatever be the reason, it doesn't matter. We're not the same person.
That's it.
You know what I mean?
Yeah.
So it's just like every part of being true to you and loving you and owning, all facets of you. That's your superpower.
Yeah.
And it's one that nobody else has.
And I love what you said about just supporting each other. I mean, the industry is difficult. The world is difficult. I mean, just in general. And just as women, we need each other. Like, Absolutely. We need each other because, and it's just like what you said, like if you're leaning in, I love the way you said that, if you're leaning into your own authenticity and what is for you is for you and what's for someone else is for someone else, then you can fully support and Absolutely. Be there and encourage other women when they get their thing because it's a full circle.
And why not, like, I just think there's something really special about understanding, like really being happy for each other, really being excited for each other. Something inside you sets you free when you can do that for someone else.
Yes.
You know what I mean? It's just, it's a beautiful thing, and I think and I think there's a lot of the either in this town as well. But all you can do is set an example in love, you know? And I think sometimes that example becomes contagious.
Yeah, I love that. Okay, so before we close, yes, we're coming on to our last few minutes. Before we close, do you have any words of advice for anybody who is trying to make it, whether it's in the industry, in their relationship, realm, in their health or fitness goals, where they feel like they're in a space of being in the in-between, not quite where they used to be, but not quite where they want to be?
Yeah, I mean, I try to start like with what's the most important thing. And the most important thing is we're all put here for a very specific reason that only God really knows, as it pertains to all of us and as it pertains to us as individuals. But I try to like seek out as much of my reasoning as I can daily. And I try to be incredibly purposeful and kind of like grasp hold of whatever the purpose is of what I'm supposed to be doing. And I think when I do that and I have that base to build off of, just having that stable base of understanding that much makes the other things easier when I get faced with them. And when I'm in that in-between stage and I'm feeling, insecure, or I'm feeling like I don't know if I can do it, or I'm feeling like, this person over here is winning and it's like, why can't I get a break or a chance or whatever it is, I just bring myself back to the base. I'm here for a reason. God created me for a reason. He's not gonna stop what he started. I'm gonna get all the way there. It is a process. I have to be present in the process and choose joy in the process, even when it sucks, even when it hurts. It's all about perception and attitude. And just keep pushing. Just don't give up, And if I start from there, I can remind myself all those things as I'm going along. And it doesn't mean that like you won't have intense moments of whatever the feeling that you're feeling, but feelings are just feelings, and most of the time they're not real. Sometimes they are.
Yeah, sometimes they're indicators, and other times they're indicators of something else.
Absolutely.
It's not just about what you're feeling about, but it's about why you're feeling that way, and having to dig deeper.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's important to dig deeper because you need to have clarity so that you can move forward and so you can grow and get healing or whatever it may be that you need specifically. And then other times, feelings are completely irrelevant. Yeah. It doesn't matter how you feel. It matters what you do. You gotta do it anyways,
Yes.
I think that's, being courageous. It's like you might be afraid that, okay.
Yeah.
You still gotta do it.
Yeah. And that's exactly what courage is. Yeah. It's not feeling fear, but it's understanding that you are processing this fear, but you're choosing to stare it in the face and go forward anyway.
Absolutely.
I love that. Yeah. Yes. Oh, Meagan, I'm lifting you up in light and love. I celebrate you, my sweet soul sister. You're amazing. You're lovely. Thank you for sitting with me. Thank you for sipping with me. Thank you guys for sitting and sipping with us. And